Well, the Lions did not start off a tough stretch of November games how they had hoped with their loss to the Vikings on the road yesterday. I'm Tori Petry, and you're watching Tori's Take presented by Priority Health. It was a rough one in Minnesota, but we're going to dive right in, starting right now. This Vikings defensive line, man, 10 sacks on Matthew Stafford. That's a career high for him. Not exactly a record that you want to be setting. It surpasses his previous high of 7 sacks by also the Minnesota Vikings at Ford Field in 2015. Was all of that on the offensive line? Well, no. Matthew Stafford was feeling the pressure. He wasn't getting the ball out quick enough. Receivers weren't getting open, etc. There was no shortage of ways the Lions needed to improve on offense yesterday. Today on Tori's Take, I want to examine this question a little bit. Did Golden Tate's absence influence the Lions' loss? Here's my thoughts. The Lions had far more problems than at receiver on Sunday. Golden Tate's trade had nothing to do with the Lions giving up their fourth 50-plus yard run this season or giving the Vikings good field position on special teams. But there were moments where you might have felt the change a little bit more. The Lions were 0 for 3 in the red zone, for example. Tim Twentyman talked about and wrote about this statistic last week that 15 of Stafford's 36 third down completions before Sunday were to Golden Tate. So Tate was his security blanket, and he didn't have that in this game. Interestingly, 4 of Stafford's 10 sacks came on third down. He also had to scramble on a third and a fourth down to convert. Now, would those plays have turned out differently had he had his go-to guy? Well, who knows? The Lions worked to revamp this offense without Golden Tate by doing things like placing Theo Riddick in the slot. I think naturally it's going to take some time to get the formula of who takes Tate's touches figured out. We might have seen some growing pains from that on Sunday, but we also saw a lot more than just that. So no, I don't think the problem against the Vikings was trading Golden Tate. The problem was this is a team with weaknesses that didn't play well on Sunday. One player would not have made the difference in this game. Well, that's another division game down. We talked last week about how the Lions have 3 just this month. They'll have 2 more chances, starting with the Bears on Sunday, who they will play twice in 12 days. We'll see how much they can improve on a disappointing performance in Minnesota. And now for the extra point, where we take a look at something happening around the league. The Saints, Rams, and Chiefs seem to be the class of the NFL right now with just 1 loss apiece, and 2 of those teams faced each other yesterday. The Saints handed the Rams, who visit Ford Field next month, their first loss of the season and posted a baby announcement in the process. New dads, step aside because your baby announcement isn't going to top this one. Saints tight end Benjamin Watson dropped some one-of-a-kind baby news with this touchdown celebration as he announced to the world that his wife is expecting their 6th and 7th kids. Yes, twins. That clip is going to be some very special memorabilia for those kids when they grow up. All right, guys, that does it for this week's Tori's Take. I'll be right back here next week from Xfinity Studio. I'm Tori Petry.